The TNX CBOE 10-year U.S. Treasury Yield Index on the monthly chart shows that on the monthly basis, the interest rate for the 10-year did not really get up to and past 5%. It did on the daily and weekly, but the monthly shows it really only went to about 4.97, so basically 5%, but definitely not officially over it. And notice in the thumbnail over here on the right that the TNX went down below the 12-month moving average in blue here and has now hooked around and went back up. It's currently at 3.973. And I have been watching the RSI 10 period for several months and have pointed out the similarities between the Volcker era back here, where the similarities here are very similar to over here in the current era. So this first dip down here right in 1979, about in the middle of 79, was everybody thinking that that was enough, and it wasn't. And then this dip down was Volcker and his crew lowering interest rates, but then inflation reared its ugly head in 1980, about in the middle, and then interest rates remained higher up until about the end of 1981, beginning of 82, when they went down in earnest as Volcker and that Fed was cutting rates. And there was some fits and starts along the way, but it was basically over his rate hiking regime and was in the cutting mode here. So fast forward to the present era, we can see this little dip down here matches this one, and then we had another bump up as the Fed was staying pat on their interest rate hike regime. And then recently the Fed has almost become dovish on the last meeting, and while they might not hike again, they will stay higher for longer, but they're never taking anything off the table. So as long as they don't hike ever again, then I doubt we'll make it back up to 70 here, just like this bump up here. And if they do hike, that means inflation has reared its ugly head again, which it's already starting to do very slightly, ever so slightly. And I think they'll just watch it for a while and not hike. But if it does get out of control with all this irrational exuberance in the markets and them talking it down, meaning the Fed doesn't work on market participants, then this could very well have that leg up and history repeats itself. So this is really something to watch here, even though it's like worse than watching paint dry. This is going to play out over the next year or two.